Hello guys! So let us continue our discussion about solving quadratic equations by completing the square. And this is part 4 in Math with Teens. Okay. Okay guys, let us continue our discussion in finding the solution of the quadratic equation by completing the square. So example number 2 is x squared minus 16x minus 18 equals 0. So let us follow the 7th step on how to solve this. Step number 1. Divide both sides of the equation by a. Then simplify. Our equation is x squared minus 16x minus 8 equals 0. The coefficient of our first term is only 1. So no need to divide. Let's proceed in step number 2. Write the equation such that terms with variables are on the left side of the equation and the constant term is on the right side. So our constant term is negative 8. So we need to transpose that on the right side so that we need to add 8 to both sides of the equation, then simplify. So our equation now is x squared minus 16x minus 8 plus 8 equals 0 plus 8. So when we solve this, we can eliminate the negative 8 and the positive 8. So our equation now is x squared minus 16x equals 8. Step number 3 is add the square of 1/2 of the coefficient of x on both sides of the resulting equation. The left side of the equation becomes a perfect square trinomial. So you will write first is x squared minus 16x plus blank is equal to 8 plus blank. So what must be added to the last term? So it is said in step number 3, you will get the coefficient of x. So the coefficient of x is 16. So let us get the half. So what is the half of 16? Yes, and that is 8. Then square it. So 8 times 8 is equal to 64. Yes, and that will be our last term. So it will become x squared minus 16x plus 64 is equal to 8 plus 64. Yes, and that is correct. Step number 4. Express the perfect square trinomial on the left side of the equation as the square of binomial. So this perfect square trinomial, we will express this as the square of binomial. So the square of binomial is x minus 8 quantity squared is equal to 8 plus 64 is 72. And that is our step 4. Okay, step number 5. Solve the resulting quadratic equation by extracting square root. So we will write the square root sign both sides. So it will become square root of the quantity x minus 8 squared is equal to the positive or negative square root of 72. So it become x minus 8 because we eliminate the squared and the square root sign. So it become x minus 8 is equal to positive or negative. The square root of 72 is 36 times 2. Then we will have x minus 8 is equal to positive or negative 6 square root of 2. So where do we get 6? This is from the square root of 36. So the square root of 36 is 6, and the remaining 2 is inside in the radical sign. So step number 6. Solve the resulting linear equations. So our solution now is x is equal to 8. So become positive 8 because this is negative. So when we transpose, become positive. So x is equal to 8 plus 6 square root of 2, or x is equal to 8 minus 6 square root of 2. Yes. So that is our solution. Okay, let us check now to know if our solutions are correct. So in this original equation, x squared minus 16x minus 8 equals 0. So we will substitute our solutions. First, we get the positive 1. So x squared, it become 8 plus 6 square root of 2, quantity squared, minus 16, and substitute here the 8 plus 6 square root of 2, then bring down negative 8 is equal to 0. So this is the product of binomial. So let us multiply. 8 times 8 is 64. The middle term is 8 times 6 is 48 times 2, 96. Then write 96 square root of 2. Then the last term of this is 6 times 6, 36, times 2, 72. And that is 72. Then this one will distribute into 8 and 6 square root of 2. So it becomes negative 16 times 8 is negative 128. Negative 16 times 6 square root of 2 is negative 96 square root of 2. Then bring down negative 8. After that, let us simplify. 64 plus 72 is 136. Minus 128 minus 8. So where is 96 square root of 2 and negative 96 square root of 2? So this will become 0 because this is positive and the other one is negative. Then let us simplify this. 136 minus 128 minus 8 is equal to 0. So it becomes 0 is equal to 0. So check. This solution satisfies our original equation. Okay, the next one. Let us substitute the negative 1. 8 minus 6 square root of 2, quantity squared for the x squared, minus 16 times 8 minus 6 square root of 2 for the 16x, then minus 8 equals 0. So this is also a product of binomial. So again, 8 times 8 is 64. Minus 96 square root of 2 comes from 8 times 6 times 2 is 96 square root of 2. Then 72 comes from 6 times 6 times 2 is 72. Then distribute this. Negative 16 times positive 8 is negative 128. Negative 16 times negative 6 is positive 96 square root of 2. Then bring down negative 8 equals 0. Then 64 plus 72 is 136. Minus 128 minus 8. And also this 2, negative 96 square root of 2 and positive 96 square root of 2 becomes 0. So eliminated. Then 136 minus 128 minus 8 equals 0 become 0 is equal to 0. So this solution satisfies also our original equation. So both values of x satisfy the given equation. So the equation x squared minus 16x minus 8 equals 0 is true when x equals 8 plus 6 square root of 2, or when x is equal to 8 minus 6 square root of 2. Yes, and our answer is the equation x squared minus 16x minus 8 equals 0 has two solutions, and that is x equals 8 plus 6 square root of 2, or x is equal to 8 minus 6 square root of 2. Okay, guys? Any question? Do you understand our second example? Okay. Okay, if you don't have any question on number 2, let's proceed to number 3. Find the solution of quadratic equation 2x squared minus 10x minus 12 equals 0 using completing the square. Step number 1. Divide both sides of the equation by a, then simplify. Our a in our equation is 2. So, we will divide these three terms into 2. So, 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5x. Negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6 equals 0. And that is our equation. Step number 2. Write the equation such that terms with variables are on the left side of the equation and the constant term is on the right side. Our constant term is negative 6. So, we will transpose this into the right side. How? So, just add 6 to both sides of the equation, then simplify. So, it will become x squared minus 5x minus 6 plus 6 equals 0 plus 6. So, eliminate negative 6 and positive 6. So, it becomes x squared minus 5x equals 6. Okay, step number 3. Add the square of 1/2 of the coefficient of x. So first, we will write our equation in x squared minus 5x plus blank equals 6 plus blank. So what must be added? So you will get the second term. The coefficient of x is 5. So what is 1/2 of 5? So 5 over 2. Then multiply itself it will become 25 over 4. And that is our last term. So it becomes x squared minus 5x plus 25 over 4 is equal to 6 plus 25 over 4. So that is our equation now. Step number 4. Express the perfect square trinomial on the left side of the equation as a square of binomial. So what will be the square of binomial? So get the square root of 25 over 4. So the square root of 25 is 5 and the square root of 4 is 2. So it becomes x minus 5 over 2 quantity squared is equal to 49 over 4. So how will it become 49 over 4? So the denominator is 4. That is our LCD. So 4 times 6 is 24. Plus 25 is 49. So that it becomes 49 over 4. Step number 5. Solve the resulting quadratic equation by extracting square root. So we will write the square root both sides. So it becomes square root of x minus 5 over 2 quantity squared is equal to positive or negative square root of 49 over 4. Eliminate 2 and square root sign. So it becomes x minus 5 over 2 equals positive or negative. So the square root of 49 is 7 and the square root of 4 is 2. So that will be our equation on step number 5. Step number 6, solve the resulting linear equations. So x is equal to 5 over 2 because you need to transpose negative 5 over 2 to the right side. So it becomes positive 5 over 2. Positive or negative 7 over 2. So let us separate the positive 1 to the negative 1. Okay, x is equal to 7 over 2 plus 5 over 2. So just add the numerator, and that is 7 plus 5. Become 12. Then, copy the denominator of 2. So, 12 divided by 2 is 6. Then, get the negative 1. Negative 7 over 2 plus 5 over 2. So, you will subtract because unlike sign. So, negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2. Then, copy the denominator of 2. So, 2 divided by 2. So, it becomes negative 1. So guys, our solutions are 6 or negative 1. Okay guys, to be sure that our answer is correct, our solutions are correct, let us check this in our original equation. For x equals 6, so let us substitute this into x. So it becomes 2x squared become 2 times the quantity 6 squared. So, 6 substitute into x minus 10 here. Then substitute 6 into x again. So, negative 10 times 6 minus 12 equals 0. And then 6 times 6 is 36 times 2, and that is 72. Negative 10 times 6 is negative 60. Then minus 12, so negative 60 minus 12 is negative 72. So now 72 minus 72 is equal to 0. Then 0 is equal to 0. So our solution 6 satisfy our given equation. Check. For x equals negative 1, we will substitute negative 1 into x. So it becomes 2 times negative 1 squared minus 10 times negative 1 minus 12 equals 0. So, negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Negative 10 times negative 1 is positive 10. Minus 12 equals 0. So, 2 times 1 is 2. Then, 10 minus 12 is negative 2 equals 0. So, 0 is equal to 0. Our solution of negative 1 satisfy our original equation. Check. Both values of x satisfy the given equation. So, the equation 2x squared minus 10x minus 12 equals 0 is true when x equals 6 or when x is equal to negative 1. So, our answer to the equation of 2x squared minus 10x minus 12 equals 0 has two solutions. And that is x equals 6 or x equals negative 1. Okay guys, if you have any question, just give your comment on the box below. So this is the end of our topic for today. Okay guys, and that's the end of our topic today. So don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe my YouTube channel. And that is Math with Teens. Thank you for watching. Keep safe and God bless.